okay? This is supposed to be posted up. Hey. Hey, John.
I'm with the Marshals here. I'm the supervisor. Your name is?
Call me Don. Call me Don.
Yeah. Don's your real name?
Yeah. Yes, I go by Don.
I just gave you my real name. My name is John Ferris. I'm the supervisor here.
Yeah.
What exactly is your business today?
I'm trying to figure out exactly how y'all ignore what's in plain writing. John, come here. Let me show you something. Because this is what you can't get around is black and white. Okay? This is supposed to be posted up at every federal building, and it is. Mm-hmm. It's here in plain daylight. Okay? It's anybody can see it. Take a look at that right there.
What am I doing?
Well, I mean, that's the problem. If you're not willing to read what's posted up here, then how can you actually? And then another thing, another big thing, if your agents don't know what the 5 elements of the First Amendment are, how can they ever be expected to?
What's your business here today?
I'm a journalist.
What are you trying to accomplish today?
I'm a journalist. Okay. I go around the country.
You're here to report what?
Well, it's to stress test a constitutional right to see if y'all actually respected my right as a journalist to come into the unsecured area of the lobby and record.
And that's all you want to do is just come in here and just record?
That's what I was doing. That's what I told them.
So how long you want to record? You want to be here till 5 o'clock, or you want to spend the night?
I mean, so long as y'all are making this a big deal like this, I'm going to stay here longer.
Nobody's made a big deal.
And nobody's made a big deal of it?
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this. Nobody's made a big deal of this.
Yeah.
And then you got blue light. Y'all coded up here with law enforcement, okay? But I'm over here, and I've said several times that I am engaged in a constitutionally protected activity, protected in whole by the First Amendment. I've pointed out the rule, the signage right here, which is in broad daylight, right in the front. And
we just infringe on your constitutional rights?
Your marshal in there kept trying to tell me, and that one right there kept telling me that I had to leave. It's on video.
Well, you don't have any business here today?
It doesn't matter what my business is. You don't get to decide. You don't get to decide what my business is. This is my business.
I can't ask that question.
This is my business. But this is my business.
Okay.
This is my business.
So this is your business today? Is just to come in and take photos?
And to stress test the First Amendment, absolutely.
You've done that. So,
no, I'm still doing it because it's still a big deal. And unless y'all can show me an order that tells me that actually is counter to this sign, which I know you can't.
You need the sign over here up front? Do you got ID on you? You trying to come in the building?
I'm not. I'm in the unsecured lobby right here.
All right, but you don't have any business here today.
It doesn't matter, and you can't tell me to leave. I don't. This is not your building. This is the taxpayers' building.
You pay. Where you working at, Don?
I'm not answering any of your questions. I'm not answering any of your questions. But you can't. You cannot lawfully come in here. You can't lawfully. I'm standing my ground. If y'all want to take me away in cuffs, take me away in cuffs. But we'll go ahead and make this an issue. Y'all can go ahead and cuff me now. Go ahead and cuff me now. If y'all want to do that, go ahead and cuff me now.
Nobody's going to cuff you.
Well, that's the only way I'm leaving, and you're not going to intimidate me off of this spot right here unless you take me away in cuffs.
Oh yeah, you want to be taken away in cuffs?
If that's what you want to do, if you want to take me out of here in cuffs, then you take me out of here in cuffs.
Who brought up cuffs? I think he brought up cuffs. I think he brought up cuffs. So
I'm saying I'm standing here in a lawful place. I'm engaged in a constitutionally protected activity, and I'm not going to place.
Yeah. So you're going to spend the night with us today?
The longer you stand here and make this an issue, the longer I'm going to stand here and record.
Okay, well, we'll stand here and record then. You know what I mean? And you can leave when you get ready. How about that? And your name was again? What was it?
I'm not answering questions.
Yeah. But you're willing to talk about the Constitution and everything that we're doing wrong?
Right.
All right. There you go. Is that a good photo? Can you smile at it?
I've actually got it face tracking you now.
Oh,
so
good deal. All right. Yeah. Good luck with that, by the way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. You got the wrong one today. You're not going to intimidate me. You're trying to intimidate me.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I'm just standing here. I'm standing here. You're dismissed.
You have no business here.
You're dismissed.
You have no business here.
But neither do you.
Yeah. I work here.
Okay, and who pays your salary? The taxpayers. Okay, I have a right. I have a right.
You don't.
to have.
Because you're not willing to give us your name.
I have the right
Where
to
do
have
you work at?
oversight and
If you're paying my
transparency.
salary,
I'm not
where
answering
do you
your
work
questions.
at?
I'm not answering your questions.
But you want
But
me to
what I'm
answer
saying
your
is, I have the right to have oversight over how the Americans' tax dollars are spent. And right now, it's looking like it's a piss poor job with having you in charge.
Absolutely. You can believe that all day long. I don't care what you say about me. All right? Yeah. I'm a piece of shit. Right? That's what you
You're the
think
one
of
that
me?
made this an issue.
You just brought it up. I'm not making an issue. I'm just having a conversation with somebody that don't want to give their name, but they've got video rolling here. Why is that?
You'll
the one
find.
that's got something to
You'll
hide,
find
it
out.
seems to me.
No. No.
Hey, file your lawsuit. Do whatever you want to do. I don't
Oh,
care.
I've already got them going in 2 different federal courts right now. You want to make it a third? We can make it a
We
third.
can make it 100, make it 1,000. I don't care. You know what I mean? I've done nothing wrong. You're the one in here infringing on us. We're just trying to conduct our business.
I'm trying to conduct my business, and you're right now interfering with that. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Huh?
It's Matthew
Buzz?
Reardon.
Yeah. Yeah.
How you doing?
All right.
You didn't get what you needed the other day?
No, I need to submit a complaint
About what?
about you, about the officer response.
Okay. And
So-
complaint for me, what I do to you?
Well, I thought that honestly you didn't know your rules and regulations governing conduct on federal property.
What are you here to do today?
I was here to figure out how to submit a complaint.
Okay. We don't do any complaints here. You contact the Department of Justice in Washington, D.C.?
I can.
Okay.
I certainly can.
Maybe we'll start there. How about that?
Yeah, so by now you know my name. You know that this was not some just random occurrence that I popped into here. It was not some it wasn't like I didn't
Are you
know what I
recording
was
right
doing.
now?
I'm always recording.
Okay, so why are you here to record? What are you here to record?
Well, I'm a journalist once again, so I don't need to explain that
So
to you.
did you get any permission from the building tenants?
Don't need permission.
I think
and,
so.
and no, this is a federal courthouse.
It is a federal courthouse, but before you can come in here and record, you need permission.
That's
from the
incorrect.
tenants. No.
No, actually, according
Come
to
on,
that
let's
sign,
go right over
hey,
here
get
and
your
read it.
hands off me. That's
Let's go
assault.
right here and read it.
That's assault. Don't
Let's go
put
right
don't
here
put
and
your
read it.
fucking hands on me again.
Don't curse at me.
Because if you put your
Don't
hands on me
curse at me.
again, I'm swinging back.
Well, you swing.
I'm swinging back the next time you put your hands on me.
Well, if you want to swing. You can do that, but you don't want to do that.
Speech, man.
Well, you put your hands on me, I have the right to put my hands back on you.
Okay, all right.
And all weapons formed against us and I
I'm just. You want to walk over here and let me show
No,
you?
no, we're not, because I know what's going to happen again.
You don't want to.
Y'all
walk
going
over
to
here
come and
read
block the
rules?
door again.
We have the rules right here.
The rules I showed you the rules.
Well,
I showed you the
there's a
rules.
difference of opinion.
I showed you the rules. I showed you the rules.
Okay.
saying right now,
So,
all weapons formed against me shall
What
not
business
prosper.
do you have here
In the
today?
name
Huh?
of Jesus
What
Christ.
business do you have here today?
We're gonna
What
film.
business you got
We're gonna
today?
film.
We're gonna
The name
film.
and you're gonna do
Film
about
what?
it.
You right now.
Okay. I
The
mean,
name and you're gonna do about the name of Jesus
you didn't
Christ.
give it a day though? On Tuesday?
You're just going to make yourself look worse and worse. I have every right to be here. I have a legal right to be here. It's on the rules and regulations governing conduct inside.
You do. Matthew, you do have a right to be here.
Yeah, Jonathan.
You just don't have a right to be here and record without permission.
I'm
first.
sorry, the First Amendment gives me that
It
right.
does not in this building.
No, this is a federal courthouse, particularly in this building.
According to our local court rules by our district judge.
Okay, where's the
You do
order?
not.
Where's the
You do not
signed
have that
order?
right.
In order for there to be rules, there has to be a signed order.
Okay, there is an order.
There has to be a signed order. Go get the order. Go get the signed order.
Are y'all Freemasons? Because I think y'all Freemasons, bro. All weapons formed against me shall not prosper. If you touch me, brother, my God will deal with you. And my God already dealt with three fake trips over there on Wall Street with the gospel. He is. I don't know what happened. I hope to meet them one day and be able to tell them, I believe in Jesus Christ, forgive me with God,
Well, how long you guys want to hang out with us today?
As long as it takes until you get it, until you get the point.
What's the point? Explain it to me. You still haven't explained to me the point. The point in coming in here every day and video this building. What
No,
is the point?
he has not been here every day. He has not been in
I'm
his
not
office.
I'm talking to him right
I don't
now.
care.
So
That's
the point
my
is, what's the
part.
point?
That's
Why?
my part. That's
Why?
all.
Why are you here? It's fine. If you don't have business
I've been
here.
in this place before. I've always been on the outside, but never inside. And this is a beautiful building.
It is nice.
So you know, like, look, John. If I was in your shoes, this is what I would have done.
What would
I'd have been like, okay,
Educate.
what you doing?
Educate.
Okay, and then I would see that you clearly got a camera. It's a beautiful place. I would want you to videotape.
I came over here to find out how to file a complaint on you. You showed why.
Make this into an amazing situation.
Well, right now, you guys. I mean, we got a screening station here.
I want to see.
So this is a secure building.
No, it's not. Not before the screening. Go get a judge. Go get a judge.
I'm your judge today.
No, you're not. Okay, we're going to see what the judge says about that because I do have a complaint already filed up, drafted up.
So here's our local.
I'd like to see a judge.
If this is a secure facility,
I'd like to see a judge.
Listen, you're not going to sit in here and yell and be disruptive. Either you're going to follow our rules or you're going to go to jail. Which is it? Which is it going to be?
What's your rules?
You're not going to come in here and be disruptive.
Okay, I'm not being disruptive.
Well,
I want to
you're
speak
not
to a
gonna
judge.
yell. You're
I'm not yelling anymore. I'm not.
Okay,
I
so just calm you
wanted.
down
I wanted
and
to
have
speak to a
conversation
judge.
with us. Calm down and have
Okay.
a conversation with us. Otherwise, you can go to jail.
So that's the second time you've threatened arrest.
That's not a threat. That's just me telling you what's.
No, I'm not
Come
doing
in here and
anything.
conduct yourself
I simply
accordingly.
said that you're gonna show me either a signed order or a judge, or I have every right to call out for a judge.
Well, there isn't a judge here. So here's the local rules right here, where it says. You want to read it? Can you, Mr. Reardon? You were in Mississippi just the other day, right? Is that correct, Matthew?
I travel
Or is
all
it-
around
we
the
call you
country.
Don?
I travel all around the
You wanna call
country.
you Don? Right here where it says local rules, you read that.
but they got the rules right there.
Yeah,
on that
Yep.
there you go.
sign, so
You want to read that right there? So these are our local rules here at this courthouse here in the Western District of Louisiana.
Guess what? They don't trump the federal the rules and
That trumps what's
regulations.
going on right here.
I'm challenging. I'm challenging.
Okay.
I challenge
Well,
it.
come on in. What do you want to do? What do you want? You want to come in?
No, I'm in where I'm allowed to be right
You want to
now.
come into the building.
I'm in where I'm allowed to be right now.
You don't want to go anywhere else?
No,
It's a beautiful building.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I love
no, I'm where I'm allowed to be right now.
Just hang tight. You can just sit tight. All right? There's no one guys.
I'm videotaping, but
Yeah.
I know it's
Well,
not
I want to
illegal.
be able to do a pat down on you guys, though. Man.
No, I don't consent to search and seizures.
Well, if you're in this building, you're going to consent to search.
You're not gonna-
There's no reason for you to search me.
Well, but
You right now,
might
you
be
two
hitting
guys
it.
are the security.
You can't do that. That's a Fourth Amendment violation.
You're in a federal building.
That's a Fourth
Yes,
Amendment
you're in a federal
violation.
building. You're in a federal building. You know? So, I mean, you're in a federal building right
Hey, get back.
now, you know? So why not?
Get back.
You know? Just step on out here.
No,
You don't want to be able to submit to a search?
no.
Huh? Matthew?
You're not going to touch me. I told you what's going to happen if you touch
I'm
me.
not touching you, Matthew. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you at all.
I have every right to
just
defend
having a
myself legally. If
conversation.
you put your hands on me, I have every right to defend myself
Just
legally.
having a conversation.
But you're a little too close.
Just having a conversation.
I know, he's way too close. He's way too close.
You're a little too close.
Just having a conversation, man. You guys
Just like him and me. Look
Yeah.
at the space we got, bro.
okay.
I know.
Him and me, we got a decent little.
So, do you guys have any business?
Oh, this is gonna be great content. This is great content right here.
Without
I
being
do not
harassed.
consent to you.
I don't give a shit. I don't care if you consent or not. Your consent means nothing to me.
Yeah, it doesn't, right?
It means
Just
absolutely
like the
nothing to
rule of
me.
law means nothing to you, right? You don't care about
The rule of law. If the rule of law cared anything about you, the First Amendment doesn't matter to you. The Constitution doesn't matter to you because you won't even read the rules and regulations
Let's read
governing.
it. Come
No,
here, let's
no,
read it.
no, 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 no.
Well, so when I asked you, when you want me to read
What's
them,
your
you
name?
don't want to read them. Don't worry about that. Don't answer that.
You
He's
attack
not-
dog?
He's not answering questions. He's not answering
What's your
questions.
name?
He's not answering questions.
Oh yeah, but y'all can get in my
He's
face,
not
right?
answering questions.
But y'all can get in
He's
my
not
face,
answering
right?
questions. I'm the one answering the
Y'all can get in my
questions.
face, though, right?
Yes, sir. That's right. That's right. I'm the one answering the questions.
Oh, who do we got here? Name and badge numbers, please. Y'all are on the internet. Name and badge numbers. FBI? FBI?
Listen, you're not going to be talking to these folks like that.
I said name and badge numbers. I can talk to them. I can ask name and badge numbers.
You're not going to be disruptive. Come in here and be disruptive like that. So either you can walk out or be arrested. Which is it going to be?
Oh, so it's under threat of arrest. So if I don't walk out, I'm under arrest.
So you're gonna throw him in jail.
You're in
So-
here being disruptive.
No, I'm
That's what
not.
telling you.
I asked for name and badge number. I asked for name and badge number. I asked for name and badge
You don't know who
number.
they
So
are.
that was under threat of arrest, correct?
You don't know who they are.
It was under threat of arrest,
You're in a
correct?
public building.
So it was under threat of arrest, correct?
Please say under threat of
Under
arrest.
threat of arrest? No, I heard it. He already said it. He already said it.
Matthew,
It was under threat of arrest.
Matthew.
Just tell me it's
just
under
wanna be
threat of arrest.
difficult today,
Just
Matthew.
tell me it's under threat of arrest.
Matthew Reardon, you just want to be difficult.
Just tell me
today?
it's under threat of arrest, and I'm
Don
leaving.
Matthews, which
Just
is-
just say
I don't even
it.
know.
Just say it. It's under threat of arrest, and I'm turning around and leaving. Just say it. Just
Are
say
you the one
it.
that got arrested for stalking the mayor in Oxford too?
No, that was all bullshit.
That was
Was
set
it?
up.
But you
Yeah,
went
that
to
was
jail
all
for that?
set up.
You went to
That
jail
was
for
set
that?
Yep.
You know, did you do what there? What
That
you
was
doing
a
here?
setup.
Nope.
That was a setup.
Nope. I'm actually in a public
And the
building, and you
probation-
cannot.
the probation
I'm in a public. I was in a. I'm in a public building.
Probation violation was a
Man.
setup too? I think you've been drinking today.
No,
It's
he has
not-
not.
right,
I'm a
you smell
witness to it.
alcohol?
I'm a witness to it.
You've been drinking today, have you not?
Oh, here we
Lord,
go.
hold this
Here
man
comes the
accountable.
gaslighting.
Hold this man
I haven't drank in
accountable
5
in the
years,
name of Jesus
motherfucker.
Christ.
You have been
I bind
drinking.
up
I have
this
not.
demon.
I-
Satan,
Oh, my
come
God.
out. Satan, come out, Satan.
I've been.
Come out,
I've been
Satan.
in
He
his
has
house
not
all
been
fucking
drinking.
day.
Satan, come out
You've
in the
been
name of
drinking.
Jesus.
I've been in his
Satan,
house
come
all
out.
day.
That's your button. You like
Satan,
to drink.
come out
You
with-
like the sauce?
He has
Oh,
not
I
even
can't
been
wait.
drinking.
It's your
He has not
fucking
been
ass.
drinking. 'Cause
It
he-
is your fucking
hey, John,
ass.
He lives
Right.
with me and he has not been drinking.
Exactly.
So devil,
I
come
think
out.
you've been drinking
Devil,
too.
come out. in the
He
name of
hadn't
Jesus
touched
Christ.
anything. I hadn't touched
Dude.
alcohol in 5 years.
Really? Well, you just got arrested last week for a DUI.
No,
And guess what? The
not
toxicology
last week.
report
Not
showed
last
no
week.
alcohol in my
It was
blood.
not last week. Hey,
Dumb
hey,
motherfucker.
look, come on, let's
Let's go. Yeah, I got enough content. I got enough content. Hey, you'll be famous on the internet, you stupid mother. Marshal's office. Basically, on the second interaction that we had at the courthouse, made it clear that he had obtained information. He had come across information, and given the track history of what had happened with Galveston, and given the track history of what had happened with Layton, Utah, I had absolutely no doubt in my mind. You don't just fall into this information without it being communicated. Okay, this is all part of the larger plan at place. Okay, so what I did is I did a FOIA request, and I actually don't have this readily available on the laptop to pull up, so I'm going to read this. It's a Freedom of Information Act request sent June 27th, 2025. The FOIA officer for the U.S. United States Marshals Service, the Office of the General Counsel in Washington, D.C. Dear FOIA officer, pursuant to Freedom of Information Act, yada yada, I'm requesting access to and copies of the following documents and information. Number one, all communication, emails, letters, faxes, memoranda, reports, notes, text messages, bulletins, bolos, or any other correspondence sent to or received from Lafayette County or Oxford, Mississippi, and or any law enforcement or government entity or official therein, including but not limited to the Lafayette County Sheriff's Department, Oxford Police Department, Lafayette County Circuit Clerk's Office, or any other government official or agency, referencing or relating to myself, Matthew Oliver Reardon, also known as Don Matthews, from January 1st, 2025 to the present. All internal bulletins, BOLO, be on the lookout notices, advisories, alerts, or any other information or communication distributed internally or externally to any law enforcement agencies or federal offices referencing or pertaining to me, Matthew Reardon or Don Matthews, following incidents occurring on June 23rd, 2025 and June 26th, 2025 at the U.S. District Court, Lafayette, Louisiana. Any and all communications or transmissions, internal or external, referencing any prior interactions with any law enforcement agencies or court entities in Lafayette County, Mississippi, Galveston, Texas, or Layton, Utah, specifically concerning or referencing alleged criminal history, prior litigation, civil rights activism, journalism activities, or any other investigative information gathered or transmitted. This was sent June 27th, 2025. Here it is, August 22nd, 2025. They're generally given 20 days to respond to a FOIA request. Of course, they're well past that. And I was actually going to be reaching out today and figuring out why the hell I haven't gotten my FOIA request. Because clearly something's going on here. Today I got a letter back from the General Counsel for the United States Marshals Service regarding the FOIA request. The U.S. Marshals Service is responding to your request received by the U.S. Marshals Service on June 27, 2025. To provide you with the greatest scope, greatest degree of access authorized by the Freedom of Information Act and the Privacy Act, we have considered your request in light of the provisions of both statutes. The records you seek are located in a Privacy Act system of records that, in accordance with regulations promulgated by the Department of Justice, is exempt from access provisions of the Privacy Act. Accordingly, to permit access to the records, your request was processed under the provisions of the FOIA. Long story short, what they did is they provided me 14 responsive records that are heavily redacted. Of course, this is our government for you. They don't like transparency at all. At all. Do me a favor, y'all, and share this live stream. People need to see it. Okay? Put it up here because people need to see this. Here's the records. Friday, June 27th at 3:35 p.m. As you notice, the from is redacted out. The to is redacted out. The CC is redacted out. 3 different people, it is redacted out. Look at all these redactions, folks. Happy Friday. Please see the above alert notice and district court electronic device policy and share. Oh, let me say this. The attachments, okay? Subject was alert notice. The attachments, Matthew Reardon, district alert notice, okay? First Amendment audits are becoming a fast-growing trend at federal courthouses. Don't play their game. Just follow your training and local orders policy from the judiciary. There's a redaction right there. I do not have a copy of the electronic device policy for bankruptcy. I don't know why there's anything about bankruptcy, because there was never anything said about bankruptcy. I've never filed it. Not sure what that's about. This is from the Supervisory Deputy U.S. Marshal for the Northern District of Mississippi. All right, I'm over in Louisiana. Why is Mississippi continuously involving themselves in matters of mine and reaching across state lines? Then on June 30th at 10:45 a.m., we have once again a redaction here. To redacted person. Subject regarding First Amendment Auditor Matthew Reardon. Good deal. I may use your photos. All these redactions. I put this out Friday to my CSOs on Reardon. He is banished from Oxford until September 30th, 2027. But I expect he will show up in Greenville or Aberdeen sooner than later. In case you don't have this photo, here you go. Okay? They're passing it along to multiple individuals within the U.S. Marshals Service and the Department of Justice, as well as other local officials. All these redactions. For your information, be aware, once I get a BOLO, I will send it out. Then down here at the bottom, it says, guys, apparently this guy is hitting the federal courthouses in Mississippi and Louisiana. Next page. We will try and get a BOLO packet together. But until then, use this as for your information to the guys. Greetings, Southern District, U.S. Marshals. I have attached reports detailing the encounter with Matthew Reardon. Feel free to pass along to your staff. Look at all these redactions. Look at all these names. To blank. to blank, 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 CC blank, 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 like 8 CC'd right there. Greetings all. On yesterday, Matthew Reardon, a proclaimed First Amendment auditor, was in the lobby near the CSO screening station recording live streaming with a cell phone. I've attached a copy CSO report and a draft my report detailing the incident. Please pass this on to your staff and remind them to report any suspicious behavior, no matter how small, to any USMS personnel, CSO, or outside guard. Feel free to contact me directly if you have any questions or concerns. From the Supervisory Deputy U.S. Marshal for the for Lafayette and Lake Charles. Now, I am appealing all of this. I want you to know I 100% intend to get these redactions because this is in the interest of this is in the public's interest that this conspiracy is going on. It is wrapped itself up in multiple states, and I'm 100% willing to press forward with litigation and sue over this because it has involved itself in so many states with this reaching across state lines, and it's conspiracy. It's conspiracy. June 27th at 1:54 p.m. Reardon conviction documents. Per our earlier conversation, here's his conviction docs from stalking the mayor here in Oxford. It is a felony conviction and he is on unsupervised release. From what I'm told, without a felony charge and probably conviction, they likely wouldn't do anything with him on the state side. I watched the video posted yesterday. You mentioned a DUI arrest to him. Where was he arrested for DUI? In preparation for him showing up at any of our sub offices, I'm going through our local rules. They are conspiring to try to, once again, get me locked up right here. They're talking about that I need a felony conviction, a felony charge, and probably conviction in order for the state to do something, to silence me. This is major. This is major. And if you don't think that this type of stuff can affect you, think again. Because if they're showing that they can do this to me, they can do it to anybody. All right? The 2022 stalking charge involving the mayor, what they conveniently left out and what I've claimed steadfastly from the beginning, walking through City Hall, requesting public records, recording my presence, that was never stalking. They fabricated the charge completely. They had lies told by a bullshit ass MBI agent by the name of Joey Monty, who the video evidence even contradicts 100%. Didn't matter. They completely denied due process. And what I've said since day one is the state of Mississippi and Lafayette County manufactured a family crisis in my life. I had a son that was fighting for his life in the neonatal intensive care unit at Le Bonheur Hospital. My wife conveniently got fired from her job 2 weeks after my public defender went to work for the mayor's husband. Okay? Just dropped off the map. All of a sudden went to work for the mayor's husband, Ray Tannehill. Started August 15th. And less than 2 weeks later, my wife conveniently gets fired from her job at RedMed in Hernando. I got the page of notes from Mitchell Driscoll that was actually in another discovery file that has her name written on the page, where she works, her phone number, and the position of what she does up at RedMed. And he goes to work for Ray Tannehill, for the husband of the quote-unquote alleged victim? Are you kidding me? And then she gets fired from her job. Tell me that that's not conspiracy. I 100% alleged, and I've alleged since the beginning that this was completely fabricated. They completely manufactured that crisis in order to force my hand because I needed to get out of jail. I was held on a no bond hold on a completely bogus charge, and they twisted my wrist by using my family to get me to plea out. But you know what? The feds don't want to make any mention of that. The Department of Justice wanted to swat me away like a fly. They don't want to look at the facts on everything because they're guilty of sin. So you're tuning in live for National Fuck the U.S. Marshals Day. This is We the People News. We're live outside the John M. Shaw United States Courthouse, where these tyrants with the U.S. Marshals Service think that it's okay to criminalize journalism and the First Amendment. Had bolos put out. I knew that there was funny business going on. Y'all want me to come in? Hey, they're trying to wave me in the courthouse. So he just waved me in. Should I accept the invitation? I think I should accept the invitation. Because I wasn't going to go in there. I was perfectly fine staying out here. But I just got an invitation into the courthouse. So let's go into the courthouse. I will never turn down an invitation such as that. But you locked the doors on me. But y'all locked the doors on me. Hello. After you. Well, look who it is.
Hey man, look, I'm gonna tell you one time. Can't be in here to report it, be arrested.
Okay, you called me in here. You son of a bitch, I was outside on the fucking sidewalk.
You wanna leave now?
You told me to come in here, motherfucker. I'm going outside. You called me in here, motherfucker. You baited me in here, you piece of shit. Fucking pussy. You fucking pussy. Fuck your mom. He literally waved me in here. He told me to come inside, was grinning, and then told me he was going to throw me in handcuffs as soon as I walked in the doors. A public building. Now they just asked for it. I'm on the public sidewalk by the road, peacefully exercising my rights. And he's over there smiling. There's a big part of me that wants to go back in and take the arrest. There's a big part of me that wants to go back in and take the arrest. Because that's entrapment and violation of my First Amendment rights. But I do know this. This is not their fucking property. This is we the people's. This is where they take an issue and they pour gasoline on it and they make it 10 times worse. 10 times worse. Okay? When they openly invited me up there just for me to go through the door and for them to try to threaten me with arrest. Happy National Fuck the U.S. Marshals Day. Here's what we're going to do here. I'll put this right here. Oh. Sounds reporting right against the glass. Get the tyrants on the inside. Yeah, these are the real sovereign citizens inside. That's right. These are the real sovereign citizens, and this is how they get exposed. Okay? This is what happens when they go and criminalize free speech. When they criminalize journalism. That's what happens when they criminalize a camera of mass destruction. I'm trying to find a good place to put this down at. I wish I had another tripod. It's a collective effort of everybody to stand up for their rights. Where does it say stay off? So what gives you the authority to tell me a damn thing? You need to keep on stepping, and I mean it. Buddy, I ain't playing your games. That's why I say, happy National Fuck the U.S. Marshals Day. Go 10-8. Keep on stepping. I'm going to make you look like an idiot today. You might want to go 10-8. 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 You put hands on me, I'm going to defend myself. I'm going to tell you that right now. All right? You're going to get sprayed down. What'd they tell you inside? Huh? Well, I know you went in to go talk to them. Oh, I'm not going anywhere. Absolutely not. I haven't done a thing wrong. I'm not going a place. And you can't make me go a place. I'm not trespassing. I'm on public fucking property. Okay, let's see. I'll take the arrest. I'll take the arrest right here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Come on with it. Come on with it. These people put out bolos for no reason, circulating my picture, criminalizing journalism, and when they try to silence our voice, we the people get louder. Operation Silence the Press. See, these people need to learn. Learn. And see, it starts right here with the 911 dispatchers. Because when somebody is actually well within their rights doing something, the 911 dispatchers don't even need to allow resources to get burned in the first place. I'm standing my ground. I'm holding my ground on this one. I'm not getting pushed off my spot. I'm holding my ground. I'm holding the line. Got to hold the line. When you're well within your rights, you cannot get pushed away. I mean, you give them an inch and they take a mile. Got to hold the line, folks. Got to hold the line. Huh? You need to suck my dick. I'm on public fucking property. Let's go. Let's go. No, you're not. I'm getting it. You ain't gonna touch my camera. You ain't touching my camera. You ain't touching my camera. I'm getting my camera.
You grab your camera and you move it right now. If you don't, I am seizing this camera.
Is that right?
That is absolutely right.
So what? So this door.
You've got 1 second.
This door is locked.
You've got 1 second.
This door is locked.
This is an entryway. You can put it on the other side of the barricade.
I'm right. I'm fine right here.
2,
I'm
1.
really. Oh! Ah! 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 Ah!
Congratulations.
Good.
You have the right to remain silent. You can say you can. It will be against the report of law. You have the right to consult an attorney, attorney, prisoner, questioning.
I want an attorney.
You cannot afford
I want an attorney. Attorney.
In 1971, the court drew a line in Cohen v. California. Paul Cohen's "fuck the draft jacket" wasn't polite, but it was speech. Justice Harlan's reminder, one man's vulgarity is another's lyric, wasn't just clever phrasing. It was constitutional bedrock. The First Amendment protects the raw and the uncomfortable, because power doesn't get to dictate tone. 17 years later, NWA pushed that line further. Fuck the Police was banned from radio, condemned by politicians, and earned the group a warning letter from the FBI. But it survived. Not because gatekeepers approved, but because courts had already established in cases like Cohen that profanity and anger are protected when they are political speech. The music didn't just survive. It became an anthem against police abuse, echoing what the court had acknowledged years before. Offensiveness is not a crime. Now in 2025, I found myself living that same fight in flesh and bone. My camera was my lyric, my audit, my anthem. Yet the U.S. Marshals tried to crush it with fists instead of bans. They treated journalism like contraband, seizing equipment as if recording itself were illegal. They dragged me into cells, beat me, mocked me, and tried to rewrite the law with violence. What they could not silence with statutes, they tried to silence with shackles. The irony is bitter. The FBI once threatened NWA for words. Today, federal agents brutalize citizens for cameras. Tools of transparency. Both reveal the same truth. When speech exposes authority, authority will try to call it dangerous. Through FOIA, I had already uncovered evidence of U.S. Marshals Service bulletins and BOLOs targeting me, documents redacted so heavily you could barely read them, but enough to show they were treating journalism and First Amendment auditing as crimes. Those documents foreshadowed what came next. And now, because of what has happened, those pages must be unredacted. The conspiracy is no longer theoretical. It is lived proof. On August 25th, 2025, outside the federal courthouse in Lafayette, Louisiana, Marshal Hayden Newsom ordered me to move my camera away from a locked courthouse door. He threatened to seize it if I didn't comply. I complied. I backed up with my tripod and 4K camera in hand. That's when he attacked. He slammed me to the ground. My brand new gimbal was destroyed. My tripod shattered into pieces against me and underneath me. My 4K camera was wrecked. He violently accosted me as if press equipment was contraband. They dragged me into a holding cell. That's where Newsom drove his knuckles into my chest while I struggled to breathe. My heart was pounding, 140 to 160 beats a minute. When I knocked his arm away to stop the pain, he threatened me again and again. Assault on a federal officer. They laughed while I gasped for air. They delayed calling 911 for nearly an hour. When the paramedics finally arrived, they mocked me, saying I was just trying to delay jail. At the hospital, the indifference continued. Dismissive, condescending, unwilling to acknowledge the injuries inflicted by federal hands. When I was discharged late at night, Marshal Newsom shackled me and handed me off to Deputy Olivet of St. Martin Parish Jail. I asked before he even pulled out of the lot, "What am I being booked on?" Deputy Olivet admitted there was no charge, just a hold for the U.S. Marshals. I told him directly, transporting me without charge is kidnapping under 18 U.S. Code 1202. He claimed he was following orders. I reminded him of Nuremberg, that just following orders is never a defense. He drove me anyway. At St. Martin Parish Jail, the abuse escalated. Deputy Olivet and a female booking officer nearly broke my wrist, hoisting me by handcuffs ratcheted down so tight I could feel my bones grinding. It was torture, plain and simple. They threw me into a tiny freezing cell with only a torn blanket. I had no food the entire day, I lay on concrete in pain from my chest, my wrist, my ribs, mocked by guards who treated my suffering as entertainment. And all the while, the marshals laughed about what they had done, laughing at destroyed equipment, laughing at a broken body, laughing at constitutional rights discarded like trash. This is not law enforcement. This is not justice. This is a conspiracy. One already foreshadowed in the FOIA records. One that is now spilled into the open through violent arrest, torture, medical neglect, and unlawful detention. In 1971, the Supreme Court said the government cannot criminalize vulgar speech. In 2025, the U.S. Marshals Service tried to erase that ruling with fists, with broken equipment, with shackles and cold cells. But here's the truth. They failed. I'm still here. I'm still speaking. And I will not stop. Because history will not absolve those who hide behind just following orders. It will remember those who stood. This is the warning. This is the record. And this is not the end.
Olivia, I need to know I guess an email address. I was trying to go ahead and get it printed out over here. I've got a legal demand that I need to serve on this jail, on the sheriff's department. So I guess if I can get an email address so I can send that right now, and I can go ahead and get. All right. Well, can you figure it out then?
Yeah, only thing I could probably tell you would probably come back like Tuesday when the office is open and they can get the like an email or something like that, something you know what I'm saying? To get they could send an email.
Because y'all fucked up whenever y'all did what y'all did to me. You know that, right? Y'all fucked up bad. I mean, you knew that night whenever you took me over here, you knew you were doing wrong. You knew you were booking me into this jail on no charge. That was kidnapping. And I explained that to you. You brought me here. There was no charge when y'all booked me into the jail. How do you justify booking a free citizen into jail, into a cage, and then on top of that, the torture that I went through? I don't know if you recall. I'm sure you recall because you know how painful it was. You know how I was screaming because I was literally toted by the chain of my handcuffs with it ratcheted down as just about as tight as y'all could ratchet it down. You know y'all fucked up. And I'm holding y'all to account.
I can really talk right now because I gotta get home. So,
Well, I sure wish I could have gone home whenever y'all played the fucking stupid ass games that y'all played. That shit's not cool at all. How would you like to get locked into a cage on something, not even getting charged? But because you wear a uniform, it's all right. You can get away with it. You motherfuckers need to start watching what the fuck you do. Yeah, you sure can. I'd like an email address. I mean, the longer that you drag this out, the longer I stay here. I need an email address to send a legal demand letter. And then I'll bring a paper copy up here Monday, but I want to send the legal demand letter. Okay, but I want to get it in somebody's hands tonight. I think I will, or I'll be out here. I mean, or like y'all love to say, we can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way. It's up to you. I'm not playing this tyrant bullshit. Y'all tortured me. You booked me into jail on no charge. I have every reason to be fucking pissed. Hey, you got a handicap pass? You got a handicap pass for that vehicle?
Can y'all send a deputy to the office? We have an individual walk around with a camera.
Oh yeah, the camera on mass destruction. Shut up, Delani. Oh, wow, you can see? Tell him I'm on a public sidewalk, Delani. Tell him I'm on a fucking public sidewalk. Snitch. Well, I guess we're about to have some contact because of a snitch calling about a guy with a camera on a public sidewalk, redressing his grievances with his government. Cry me a fucking river, pansy. Let's see who draws the short straw and gets sent out here. It should have been your ass.
Sheriff's office property.
I'm on a fucking public sidewalk. Yeah, I'm on a public sidewalk. Your fucking bullshit ass directives don't mean shit to me.
You're on the sidewalk now.
You're dismissed, motherfucker. Okay, right here, sidewalk. Right here, sidewalk, dumbass. Hey, right here's a sidewalk, dumbass. It's the only place I've been. Idiot. You're dismissed. Take your fucking ass inside. Oh, did you draw the short? We got the popo. Two of them. So you drew the short straw tonight, huh? All right. So let me go ahead. I know y'all are gonna want to know what's going on. These sons of bitches kidnapped me. They tortured me. I was August 25th. I was booked into jail on no charge. You cannot. Due process requires that in order to take a free man and lock him in a cage, there must be charges. They locked me up regardless on a hold for the U.S. Marshals because the U.S. Marshals violated my rights and broke my camera gear over me back in Lafayette and then just told them to hold me overnight. And that's what they did. But to make matters even worse, when we got here to the jail at nighttime, when Deputy Oliviet brought me here, and I warned him this was kidnapping, I wasn't going to participate in my own kidnapping. They had the handcuffs cinched down so tight on my wrist I could feel my bones grinding, and they literally lifted me up by the chain of the handcuffs and toted me inside. That's torture. I don't know if you know how bad that hurts, okay? I didn't think waterboarding was so bad. You know, just the sound of it, that's probably worse than waterboarding, to be lifted up and carried by your handcuff. So all I'm wanting, and like I keep telling them, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. all it takes is a little bit of compliance. I need an email address to send a legal demand letter to, because the traffic, I got here a little late and I couldn't get it printed off. It was kind of a last minute thing because I didn't realize that my attorney was not going to file for this particular stuff because it's part of a civil matter. I need an email address because I want to send this stuff out. Look, this guy needs to go back to eating some fucking Twinkies or something. I don't know what his deal is. I want an email address so I can send my legal demand letter. Yeah. And then I'm going to bring a physical copy by at the beginning of next week. But it's important to me to make sure that this digital copy gets into the hands of somebody today so that it officially puts the hold on this evidence. I know, that's ridiculous. Yeah, because you know what? If they would just simply comply, I could have done my thing and been out of here. But now there's 4 freaking cops over here over me redressing my grievance after getting tortured and booked into jail with no charge. I know when I'm requesting. It's on the legal demand. But making threats, it's all on video. It's been live streamed. The whole thing's live streamed. That's a false report. He just made a false report to law enforcement. That is a false report he just made.
I'm with the city police, all right? The sheriff's office, deputies give me a call.
I want him charged. That was a false report of a crime.
Well, I don't have any. Like I said, you said you have it on video. That's cool, but I don't know what.
Okay, but because he's a law enforcement officer, that means that you just take his word right away when I'm telling you that this whole thing is live streamed. He's saying I was on their property. I've been on a public sidewalk literally the entire time. So, but you're going to take his word because he's a cock-sucking damn.
The sheriff's deputy's coming. They said it was a disturbance, so we came to back her up.
A disturbance, my ass. I have a right to redress my grievances after everything that happened.
But she's not going to help you with what you need. We with the city.
I want that lying son of a bitch charged right there. No, I want him charged. I want him charged. He said that I threatened him and that I was on their property, and both of them are lies. In fact, like I said, the live stream is going, We the People News. Go there, and you can actually go back and actually watch it right now to see that he lied. That's a crime. He needs to be charged. This is We the People News. Yeah, this is the problem, okay? Bad cops they're the worst threat to a good law enforcement officer, if there is such a thing. A dirty, crooked cop like him that will lie and try to get y'all to take his back. He's a corrupt piece of shit is what he is. I want him to go back to eating a box of Twinkies and freaking do something on his official time. He lied. He made a false report to law enforcement. I got this on video. Both of the things that he told them.
What's your name?
I'm not answering questions.
So listen, where, what you doing, what you trying to do.
What is that?
Okay? Trying to get us to act out of pocket.
No.
Or out of way.
Wrong.
Correct.
Wrong.
Okay?
Do you want to know the truth? No, wrong. No, you stop talking.
Okay?
Do you want to know the truth?
I don't.
Shut up.
For lawful reasons.
Shut up then.
Okay? You were on property.
I was on a public sidewalk.
That you probably had a legal and lawful reason to be.
I was tortured by this jail, and I was booked under no charge. I didn't make any threats.
So once you started making threats,
It's all on live stream. This is what I'm talking about. Y'all listen to a lying sack of shit like him. Look at the live stream. The live stream, it's public. People are watching it. They saw. Okay, then don't take his word because he's a fuck.
but does it very much seem like you want to communicate with me? No.
Am I being detained?
You're not.
All right. Have a good day.
You as well.
I'm not answering questions. I'm not having any kind of consensual contact. I'm not. You don't want to hear the truth. You want to listen to lies. So fuck off. I'm not on the property over here. That right there is a public sidewalk. Nope. I'm sorry. That is a public sidewalk.
You were on where you were making threats as part of the jail.
Making threats? What? Okay, what are you going off of saying that I was making threats?
The deputy.
Okay.
Well, the badge is probably a lot more than your live stream.
You know what? If you motherfuckers would do your job and actually look at the video, if y'all would look at it, you would see he's a lying sack of shit and you're a corrupt sack of shit.
Probably. Only on Tuesday.
Go fuck yourself. What is your name and badge number actually?
My name is Deputy Provoke. Badge number 2221. Anything else?
2221. A name and badge number? 1044. Name and badge numbers? Vincent 67 and Rumble 141. So he told y'all the lies? No, he told them. He told them and it's on video. He told them and it's on video. He told them and it's on video. Okay, he could have still.
Have a good day.
Fuck you.
Have a good day.
Fuck you.
How you family said hello. Have a good day.
Eat shit.
Okay.
Yeah, fucking dyke ass bitch. This, I'm not answering any more questions because, yeah, but y'all don't care about the truth. If you did, you would have. If you did, you would have shut her the fuck down.
But that's, we don't look at that. This is the sheriff's office. The sheriff's office is which runs the jail. We came there, look, World Patriot News.
No, I have Patriot News, but We the People News. I'll go ahead and tell you. Look, you know what? Hey, immerse yourself in the truth, okay? Because that's what I publish is I back it up by truth, and it's, you know, I'm sick and tired of this shit going on where, you know, it's do y'all realize that it's people like her and people like him that make y'all's job more dangerous?
But you gotta think of this, that, sir, not perfect, but they're doing a job to protect everybody.
All right, let me ask you this question real quickly, okay? Do you not think that when I expose tyrants, the bad cops, that I'm saving lives with the good officers? Do you not think that there's a chance that if it weren't for people like me exposing bad people like her and like him,
But you're taking 10 minutes and you don't know what she's done. She's done
It doesn't-
things out there
it
and saved lives.
you know what? It doesn't matter. The second you turn your back and allow a crime to be committed, allow somebody's rights to be violated.
What rights of yours were violated?
I just told you.
No, you didn't.
When that deputy lied and said that I was on y'all's,
Yours were violated.
when that deputy,
What rights of yours were violated?
all right, let me swear an affidavit. And that way you can either take me to jail or take him.
What rights of yours were violated?
The fact that he commit,
What rights of yours
shut
were
the
violated?
fuck up. I'm trying to tell you. Shut the
Right.
fuck up.
What right?
Shut the
What
fuck
amendment?
up. I'm trying to tell you right now. So shut your fucking mouth.
What right? What amendment? I'm
It's
waiting.
it's called falsely reporting a crime.
He didn't report it. You did.
Bullshit. He fucking brought you over there and you even said that he told you that I was on y'all's property and that I was making threats.
You weren't
That's
arrested,
falsely reporting a fucking crime.
You weren't arrested, were you?
It doesn't matter. He falsely reported a crime.
No, he didn't.
You know, go fuck yourself. I'm not, I ain't got a damn thing to say to you fucking corrupt ass.
Who you need?
I need the sheriff if he's in.
You need the sheriff, like the sheriff himself, or is it a sheriff deputy?
I need the sheriff himself. I was actually the guy that was there the other day where the local police as well as the sheriff's deputy showed up outside of the St. Martin Parish Jail. What happened were major civil rights violations, and I need to speak to the sheriff about that.
All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer you to his secretary.
All right.
All right, sir, hold on.
St. Martin Parish Sheriff's Office.
Is the sheriff still in? What's that?
This is his assistant. How can I help you?
Yes, I'm calling actually. I need to speak to the sheriff. This is a major issue that honestly requires the sheriff's attention. This is Matthew Reardon. I was over there at the jail 2 days ago, September 19th, and the local police showed up as well as the sheriff's deputy. And what happened right there is a major thing. What happened at the jail was a major thing. Back on August 25th of this year, my camera gear was broken over me. I'm a journalist. I was outside of the federal courthouse in Lafayette, and my camera gear was broken over me by the U.S. Marshals. And I was passed off to Deputy Olivier at the hospital parking lot and told to be taken to the St. Martin Parish Jail. I told Olivier, I said, what charge am I being charged with? And he said, I don't have a charge. It's just a hold for the U.S. Marshals. I said, no, you can't do that. That's kidnapping. Due process requires that in order for you to take a free man, lock him in a cage, there has to be a charge. I told him to get a supervisor, that if he continued forward taking me to the jail, that ultimately that's putting his qualified immunity on the line. He never did. We're on the way going to the jail, and I just know that this is something horrid and dark that was set up, and we're getting close to the jail, and Olivier says, he asked me, please cooperate when we get there to the jail. And I told him, I said, I cannot participate in my own kidnapping. I have a duty and an obligation to not comply on something like that. There's no charge. Gets to the jail, he calls one of the booking guards. She's a bigger black woman, and she comes out there. My handcuffs handcuffed down about as tight as they could be, and they picked me up by the handcuff chain, nearly breaking my wrist. I'm screaming in pain as I was carried to the front desk of the jail. I was treated absolutely horrible in that jail. I've never seen such a just complete disregard for constitutional rights, for civil rights, and it'd be a laughable joke. I was ordered released by the judge the next day, and I feel like I know they were up to something. Well, I went back to the jail 2 days ago on the 19th because I wanted to serve a legal demand to preserve evidence. So I'm letting the county know that any video from the Sally Port, from the booking area that captured this crime being committed must be preserved. I have it in writing. What I would like is I haven't even gotten into what happened 2 days ago. That was a joke right there. My rights were violated yet again. And if I have to come back there in person, it's going to be conflictually based on the past. So I would like the county to take receipt of my legal demand to preserve evidence electronically.
I'm gonna have our legal counsel contact you. Is it this contact number 66258?
Yes.
And your name's Matthew Reardon.
Yes.
And you were arrested on August 25th by which agency?
I was kidnapped by the U.S. Marshals, and then your agents took receipt of me. Yes.
Is Olivier or Olivier?
Olivier. Olivier.
Okay. I just need some clarification.
Yeah. Hey.
And U.S. Marshals kidnapped you where?
So let the legal counsel know that as a journalist, I'm publishing to We the People News. I've actually
hang on. Kidnapped. I'm gonna let him speak directly to you. U.S. Marshals kidnapped you. Where were you kidnapped? In St. Martin Parish or Lafayette Parish?
I was in Lafayette Parish.
You were in Lafayette Parish.
Yes.
And you were transferred to our jail.
So I was taken to the hospital. They were the paramedics, when they eventually called them over at Lafayette, when they had me in the back of the Lafayette courthouse, the paramedics showed up an hour later, and my heart rate was between 140 to 160 beats a minute. I couldn't breathe. I was in so much pain. And they were so dismissive, saying, we just think he's just trying to get out of going to jail. That's bullshit, because I wasn't even charged with the crime.
Okay. Spell your last name for me.
Reardon. But yeah, I was discharged from whatever hospital they took me to late at night, and Olivier took me in shackles. They shackled me up. Olivier took me, and in the car, I asked about the charge. And then he told me that he was basically taking orders. And so I gave him the story about Nuremberg and the Nuremberg trials, and how when the Nazis gassed the Jews and then tried to say that they were just following orders, that didn't cut it. They were held to account, and I'm holding them to account. I told Olivier that night that I was going to strip him of his qualified immunity if he continued on, and he did. And then he took part in my torturing. It was a brutal torturing, being picked up by the bones in your wrist. It's horrible pain. And so I swear I'm going to strip him and anybody that had any dealings of it of their qualified immunity. There's no question about it.
Okay. I'm going to have our legal counsel contact you, Ms. Matthew, and we'll be back in touch with you, okay?
Okay, so can y'all, I just need to know that as of this date, y'all have been made aware.
No, I'm not. No. I'm not accepting any of that, and I'm sure you're probably recording, and I'm asking you not to record.
No,
You are going to speak to our legal counsel. I am not going to accept anything by your words. So what
I'm saying, and she hung up on me. Well, I was simply trying to make sure that the county had understood its legal obligation. There's now two parties to a case. There's now an accusation that's been made. There's an accuser, and there's the accused. And now there must be a trial.
The press.
So you're tuning in live for National Fuck the U.S. Marshals Day. We the People News.
Kidnapped quick, no warrant, no case. Camera smashed out, tripod in my face. First Amendment written, they erased, but the court said Cohen already placed. Hey! Operation silence the press, they plotted, they guessed, but the truth don't rest. It beats in my chest, from Cohen and Cali to Lafayette stress. Rights don't vanish cause the Marshals press. Broke my gear, try to kill my breath. Shackle me cold, starve me near death, but the voice survives and I stand confessed. I expose what they fear. Silence the press. August 25th, courthouse stone. Sign in my hands, I stood alone. Words from the past, Cohen's tone. Fuck the Marshals, carved in bone. Hated news and badge with a snarl. Threatened my cam, said seize it all. I stepped back slow, obeyed the call. Then he lung slammed hard, I fall. Tripod cracked, my gimbal broke. Camera crushed and the government choked. First Amendment, bled in the smoke, but the record stands. I spoke. Operation silence the press, they plotted, they guessed, but the truth don't rest. It beats in my chest, from Cohen and Cali to Lafayette stress. Rights don't vanish cause the Marshals press. Broke my gear, trying to kill my breath. Shackle me cold, starve me near death, but the voice survives and I stand confessed. I expose what they fear. Silence the press. Dragged to a cell, chest punched tight, couldn't breathe deep, heart raced all night, knock his arm back just to fight for air. Now he screams assault while I'm gasping there. I'll take slow, no sirens near, paramedics mock, no mercy here. Hospital cold, the truth unclear, delay in the jail, they jeered. Pastor Olivier, cuffs cut bone. I asked what's the charge, he had none shown, just a hole for the feds, my rights dethroned. That's kidnapping law in a danger zone. 40 pages black, lies in disguise. For yeah, hit the scheme, but the scars don't lie. Laugh all you want, but the tape don't die. Operation failed, truth multiplies. Jailhouse freeze prison blanket torn, no food served, constitution scorned, wrist bones twisted, pain reborn, but the fight lit brighter in the darkest storm. This ain't 30 days, this is principle strong. 54 years, the court said wrong. One man's lyric, another man's song, and I spit that truth in a world gone wrong. Cross they plots, they stitch and weave. Oxford to Galveston, tricks deceive, but you can't erase what the people believe. The first don't fade when the liars grieve. Operation Silence the Press, they plotted, they guessed, but the truth don't rest. It beats in my chest, from Cohen and Cali to Lafayette stress. Rights don't vanish cause the Marshals press. Broke my gear, tried to kill my breath. Shackle me cold, start me near death, but the voice survives and I stand confessed. I expose what they fear. Silence the press.
This one's for Bad Actors Volume 2. They just filed document 23 trying to keep you from hearing the truth. They're scared. Listen, the U.S. Attorney's Office, they running scared. Filing motions, hoping that the truth ain't shared. They want a protective order, they cite Rule 16, saying the evidence is sensitive, can't be seen by you and me. They talking courthouse security, operational plans, communications with the federal judges, getting sticky hands. They say disclosure would compromise the whole operation, but what they're really scared of is the public's education. They point the finger at me, say I post on YouTube, say I'm just stress testing the system, that's their weak excuse. So they want my lawyer gagged, wanna keep the files from me. They don't want the people seeing what I'm about to help them see. They want a protective order, I call it a gag order. They move in the shadows, I'm moving the light. They're fighting to hide it, I'm fighting for my rights. This ain't just my freedom, it's the public's right to know. This is Bad Actors. This is Bad Actors Volume 2. Now sit and watch the show. This is Bad Actors Volume 2. My team filed Doc 25, the opposition hits them hard. Your Honor, this whole case is a house of cards. I'm a navigator journalist, you can check the subs. This ain't a prosecution, it's a political snub. They mad about my constitutionally protected activity, exposing unlawful surveillance. That's why they mad at me. I run We the People News, I filed a FOIA request. Found a bolo alert on me just for doing my job, no rest. And here's the part that really got them looking dumb. The info they wanna protect, it's in the public domain. I published the FOIA docs, the emails they wanna hide. On August 23rd, I put it all online. That was 2 days before the arrest on the 25th. So how you gonna claim it's sensitive, save it for the 5th? They want a protective order, I call it a gag order. They move in the shadows, I'm moving the light. They fighting to hide it, I'm fighting for my rights. This ain't just my freedom, it's the public's right to know. This is Bad Actors Volume 2. Bad Actors Volume 2. Now sit and watch the show. This is Bad Actors Volume 2. The judge dropped an interim order, that's document 24. A temporary muzzle till they can figure out the law. They say they find it good cause potential of harm. Just vague assertions to trigger the alarm. They wanna hide the methods of the U.S. Marshal, but those methods are the story, that's the whole parcel. This is improper motivation, a retaliatory case. They trying to shut me up, trying to erase my face. My lawyer said it plain, this is a public matter. The First Amendment's on the line, watch them scatter. We ask for less restrictive means like simple redactions, but they want a blanket ban. These are the bad actors. You can't make something secret that's already public. The FOIA docs are out, the live stream of the arrest is out. This isn't about security, it's about the government covering up its own misconduct. This is Bad Actors Volume 2, and we will not be silenced. WTP News.
I've been, that's 2 in a row for We the People News today. Thought about going live on exposing the tyrants, because I really do think that this is about exposing the tyrants. I really do, and I think that you'll there's not enough people that either don't care or they're just not seeing it. I don't know which of the two. I do know that people don't tend to care unless it's happening to them or unless it's happening to somebody that's close to them. But I will take this moment to remind the public, remind those watching, how big of a case this is and the impacts that it will have on others if they are able to get their way. So, Your Honor, and to the public listening, this case is about whether a journalist can be silenced for reporting on his own government. The document I'm about to read, the defendant's opposition to the government's motion for a protective order, goes to the heart of that question. The government is asking this court
to impose sweeping restrictions that would stop me from even possessing or discussing the evidence in my own criminal case. They call it a protective order, but in practice, it's a gag order, one that strikes at the First Amendment and the public's right to know. This prosecution began after I published evidence obtained lawfully through a FOIA request showing that U.S. Marshals had circulated a bolo alert placing me under surveillance for my journalism. 2 days later, I was arrested while peacefully protesting on courthouse steps, filming the very government that was watching me. Now those same agencies want to hide behind a claim of security, even though much of the material they seek to restrict has already been released publicly through FOIA and my reporting. The filing argues that there is no good cause for this level of secrecy under Rule 16 of the Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure, and that any legitimate concerns about courthouse safety can be handled through narrow, targeted measures, not a blanket muzzle. What's at stake is larger than my own defense. It's whether transparency still means anything when the press itself becomes the defendant. The Constitution demands sunlight, especially when power wants shadows. So as I read this opposition, listen for three things. The law. Rule 16d1 requires a specific showing of harm, not speculation. The facts. The government's sensitive information is already public. The principle that no journalist or citizen should be barred from speaking truth about their own prosecution. This isn't just a legal filing. It's a stand for the First Amendment in real time. And I'll say this also before I get started with this opposition, that my attorney was nice. He was overly nice. This is not what I sent him. He actually proposed alternatives that honestly don't sit very well with me, because I believe wholeheartedly in transparency on this situation because of everything that's come out. There should be absolutely no middle ground on this. So I'm just going to say this, that's the best the government's going to get, was what he filed here in this matter. I think I sent him 160 pages of stuff for filings that got compressed down to 10. But it's very important, the things that he did put in these 10 pages. So this is the United States of America versus Matthew Reardon in the Western District of Louisiana. Now into court, through the undersigned counsel, comes the defendant, Matthew Reardon, who respectfully opposes the government's motion for a protective order, document 23, and the continuation of the interim protective order, document 24. For the reasons set forth below, the protective order should be denied in its entirety, or alternatively substantially narrowed to address only legitimate security concerns, while preserving Mr. Reardon's constitutional rights in the public's interest and transparency. The introduction. The government seeks a broad protective order that would prevent Mr. Reardon, an investigative journalist with over 3,000 subscribers, it's actually over 8,000, from possessing copies of or even publicly discussing evidence in his own criminal case. This prosecution arose from Mr. Reardon's constitutionally protected activities, documenting his interactions with federal law enforcement and protesting what he discovered through FOIA, to be unlawful surveillance of his journalism. Now the government seeks to compound its violation of Mr. Reardon's First Amendment rights by imposing a gag order that would prevent him from informing the public about the evidence underlying this prosecution. The very materials the government now seeks to shield from public scrutiny, Mr. Reardon believes are central to understanding the government's improper motivation in bringing this case and the retaliatory nature of the prosecution. While undersigned counsel recognizes the court's paramount obligation to ensure courthouse security and the specialized expertise of the U.S. Marshals Service in security matters, the government has failed to demonstrate good cause for such sweeping restrictions. Its vague assertions about courthouse security and sensitive law enforcement information cannot justify the requested relief. The protective order should be denied or substantially narrowed. The factual background. Mr. Reardon is an independent journalist who operates the We the People News platform, documenting government activities and advocating for government accountability. His journalistic work is consistently focused on exposing government overreach and protecting constitutional rights. Through a Freedom of Information Act request, he discovered that U.S. Marshals had placed him under surveillance through a BOLO, Be on the Lookout alert, based solely on his protected journalistic activities. When he attempted to file a complaint about this surveillance at the Lafayette courthouse, he was turned away and told to contact Washington, D.C. Within the trove of FOIA documents he received from the government were numerous emails between the U.S. Marshals and courthouse staff. 2 days before the events that led to this case, Mr. Reardon lawfully published the documents he received from the FOIA request on August 23, 2025, on his news website, We the People News, WTPnews.org. This publication included the very emails the government now seeks covered by the protective order. On August 25, 2025, Mr. Reardon exercised his First Amendment rights by peacefully protesting this government overreach on the courthouse steps while documenting the event for his journalism platform. The government responded by arresting him and seizing his equipment. Mr. Reardon has already published video of these events on his YouTube channel, making much of the supposedly sensitive information public. The government now seeks to prevent Mr. Reardon from possessing or discussing additional evidence, claiming that discovery materials contain sensitive courthouse security operational plans and communications between the Marshals Service and federal judges. The government provides no specific identification of what materials are actually sensitive or how disclosure would cause harm. More importantly, it appears that the materials referenced by the government were already released to the public via the above referenced FOIA response and subsequent publication. The legal authorities. Protective orders under Rule 16d1. Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure Rule 16d1 permits protective orders only upon a showing of good cause. The party seeking the protective order bears the burden of showing good cause. United States v. Carrillis. Good cause exists when a party shows that disclosure will result in a clearly defined, specific, and serious injury. A finding of harm must be based on a particular factual demonstration of potential harm, not on conclusory statements. United States v. Smith. When considering a protective order, the courts must consider whether the imposition of the protective order would prejudice the defendant and should seek to ensure that disclosure of discovery materials to a defendant involve a minimum hazard to others. courts must also balance the public's interest in the information against the injuries that disclosure would cause. B. The First Amendment is a relevant concern when examining a protective order. The Supreme Court has held that the press and general public have a constitutional right to access to criminal trials. Globe Newspaper Co. v. Superior Court. Apart from a constitutional right of access to court proceedings and documents, the Supreme Court has held that the public has a common law right to inspect and copy public records and documents, including judicial records and documents. But these constitutional protections have not been extended to discovery. Seattle Times Co. v. Reinhardt. Nevertheless, examining a protective order under the framework of Rule 16d does not eliminate the First Amendment as a relevant concern. Rather, the existence of the protective order confines First Amendment scrutiny, including defendants' right to disseminate the discovery material, to the framework of Rule 16d's good cause requirement. The argument. The government fails to demonstrate good cause. The government's motion relies on generalized speculative assertions about potential harm without identifying specific sensitive information or articulating how disclosure would create actual security risk. Based on the undersigned's review of the discovery materials to date, many of the government's claims of sensitivity appear overstated. First, the government fails to acknowledge that Mr. Reardon live-streamed the events in question and had already lawfully published the FOIA documents that included communications between U.S. Marshals and courthouse staff. Thus, most of the facts surrounding this case are already public. Second, the government claims the protective order is necessary for materials that may tend to reveal the methods or operational behavior of the U.S. Marshals in performing its courthouse security function. While the government is entitled to protect truly sensitive security protocols, it is not specifically identified which materials contain such information or how their disclosure would create a genuine security risk. Nor does the government claim that any particular security measure would be compromised, that any individual would be endangered, or that any ongoing operation would be jeopardized. From counsel's review of the discovery provided thus far, the materials appear to consist primarily of Mr. Reardon's own video recordings that have been published online, video recordings of Mr. Reardon in a U.S. Marshal holding cell and receiving medical attention, email communications regarding the incident that do not appear to contain detailed security protocols, standard incident reports documenting the interaction with Mr. Reardon, documents related to the Bolo alert that Mr. Reardon has already obtained through FOIA and published. While undersigned recognizes that security professionals may identify vulnerabilities not apparent to defense, the government bears the burden of specifically identifying what materials require protection and why. It has not done so here. Additionally, the discovery appears to contain no personally identifying information, P2, beyond Mr. Reardon's own information. If the court determines that some level of protection is warranted, the undersigned requests that any order be narrowly tailored to address only the specific materials that genuinely implicate security concerns, rather than the blanket restrictions requested by the government. Third, Mr. Reardon has already published extensive video documentation of the August 25th incident on his YouTube channel. Viewed by thousands, Mr. Reardon has already published records from the FOIA request showing communications to and from the U.S. Marshals to courthouse staff. In fact, it appears the FOIA documents included more U.S. Marshals emails
then the discovery documents turned up. The government cannot claim sensitivity for information already in the public domain. Moreover, undersigned is mindful that protective orders are appropriate in many situations, and that maintaining courthouse security is a legitimate purpose for a protective order. Undersigned, however, fails to see any documents in the discovery, in this case, that disclose any operational or security information that is not already public or widely known. Courthouse security procedures are necessarily observable by the public. Every day, citizens pass through courthouse security, observe marshal procedures, and interact with court security officers. These publicly observable procedures cannot be deemed sensitive merely because they are documented in discovery materials. The public interest strongly favors transparency. This case raises fundamental questions about the boundaries of First Amendment protection for journalists at federal facilities, the use of surveillance, bolo alerts against citizens engaged in constitutionally protected activities, the prosecution of individuals for documenting and criticizing government conduct, and the response of federal law enforcement to accountability journalism. The public has an overwhelming interest in understanding the evidence underlying such a prosecution. Transparency serves not only Mr. Reardon's defense, but also the public's ability to evaluate whether the government is respecting constitutional boundaries. As the Supreme Court recognized, the First Amendment goes beyond protection of the press and the self-expression of individuals to prohibit government from limiting the stock of information from which members of the public may draw. First National Bank of Boston v. Below. Less restrictive alternatives would serve any legitimate interests. Even if the government could demonstrate some need for protection, which it is not, the proposed order is far broader than necessary. This court should adopt the least restrictive means of serving governmental interest. Less restrictive alternatives could include: 1. Targeted redactions that remove specific sensitive information so that the documents could be released with the redactions. And actually, that's not okay with me. I'm gonna keep appealing and appealing and appealing until there's no redactions. We will wrap this thing up in red tape and draw it out for a long time. I don't care. Or 2, tiered disclosure that would allow full disclosure of non-sensitive materials while restricting only materials containing demonstrable security information. The government has not explained why these less restrictive alternatives would be insufficient. If the court determines that some form of protection is necessary, undersigned proposes the following narrower protective order that would address legitimate security concerns while preserving Mr. Reardon's constitutional rights. Number 1, the government shall specifically identify which documents or portions of documents contain sensitive security information with a brief explanation of the security concern implicated. 2, defense counsel may challenge the designation of specific materials, requiring the government to articulate with greater specificity why those materials require protection. 3, for materials containing genuinely sensitive security information, Mr. Reardon and his counsel shall not publicly disclose the specific security protocols, contact information of security personnel, or technical details of security systems. However, Mr. Reardon may discuss and possess all other evidence related to his case, including video recordings he made during the incident, communications related to the Bolo alert, any information already available through FOIA or other public sources, the general circumstances of his arrest and prosecution. Rather than requiring all discovery to be maintained only by defense counsel, the court
could require specific security sensitive documents to be maintained securely, while permitting Mr. Reardon to possess non-sensitive materials. This approach would protect legitimate security interests while avoiding a restraint on Mr. Reardon's speech about his own prosecution. Conclusion. A journalist prosecuted for documenting government conduct should not be gagged from discussing his own case. The protective order represents a continuation of the very suppression of speech that led to this prosecution. It should be denied in its entirety. Respectfully submitted, Rebecca Hudsmith and Dustin Talbot. So, and I'll post the, I've already posted. It's on, I believe I posted the document on YouTube. I know I posted it on Facebook, and I'll be putting an updated article on We the People News website, WTPnews.org. You will be able to actually read this motion or this response here shortly if you have not. Okay? This has gone from a more localized issue to a mainstream national issue because of what's at stake, because of what the United States government has done through its U.S. attorneys, through the Department of Justice. If it wants to change its name, and it's that I've given it, from the Department of Corruption, maybe it should stop immediately acting in corrupt ways, trying to cover up something so important as ex parte communication that took place between U.S. Marshals and federal judges 2 months prior to them violently attacking me, arresting me, and charging me with this petty crime. And to think that they can actually get away with keeping that hush on who the federal judges were that were in receipt of these emails that the U.S. attorney, the U.S. government have already admitted took place. We knew it was there. I saw it well in advance, pointed it out on live streams, okay? Knew it was there. And there's a plain admission in the motion for a protective order that this did take place by the U.S. attorney. It's bold. The steps that they are taking right now are bold, so bold. So bold because they're counting on exactly what's going on with this live stream. They're counting on the people not seeing it or not caring. And they're doing it right under your eyes, folks. Like they're not even trying to hide it. This is flagrant. It is out in the open. And I've been trying to make as much racket about it. And I see a couple people drop off and all that. And I'm going to be the guy that's sitting here saying that I told you so when it does happen and this precedent is set. Because I tried my damnedest to blow the whistle on this and to call foul. The information's out there. I've done everything I can to put it out in as many places as possible. I'm willing to clash with this unconstitutional order head on if I have to. Because I'm not letting it fly. But you know, it would sure, it would for the people to get behind this and to put eyes on this, to redress, to let the government know that you care, that you're aware,
And this won't be tolerated. So, it's all in the court documents. I've published the proof through the FOIA. Keep it circulating. Because they can't try to silence. They can't turn over the evidence. They can't provoke their own prosecution and then turn around and try to cover up their wrongdoing. They just can't do it. It's nasty. I'm going to file a slew of complaints in this. And the best thing that they can do is mitigate the damage and toss the bullshit out. Because I haven't even started exposing yet. And that's going to go up to a whole nother level before everything's said and done. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Caught red-handed, their lies laid bare. These public officials thought nobody would care. A conspiracy deep, but the truth's coming through. The system's cracking, now they'll pay their due. Lies and corruption, they thought they'd control, but justice is burning, exposing their soul. They built this on deceit, but their cover is blown. Now the guilty must answer for the seeds they've sown. Down in Galveston, it started that night. Osteen and Doretti turned wrong into right. Said I was drunk, claimed the smell in the air, but no alcohol touched me, their proof wasn't there. They locked me up 11 months in a cell. Fabricated charges, a personal hell. They twisted the law, made me a pawn, but their conspiracy's unraveling, it won't last long. A growing plot, their power abused, but I'm breaking the chains, their lies are diffused. The truth's on my side and it's ready to speak, exposing their game, bringing justice to the weak. Caught red-handed, their lies laid bare. These public officials thought nobody would care. A conspiracy deep, but the truth's coming through. The system's cracking, now they'll pay their due. Lies and corruption, they thought they'd control, but justice is burning, exposing their soul. They built this on deceit, but their cover is blown. Now the guilty must answer for the seeds they've sown. Extradited from Galveston back to Lafayette. 2 weeks before trial, the lies were set. Then Ben Creekmore played his false hand, fictitious evidence in his corrupt plan. Judge Tolleson fell for the charade they showed. 2 years in prison, down a dark road. Osteen hit the stand, swore oath after oath, but his lies cracked under the weight of my growth. July 18th, they thought they'd won, but justice don't sleep, the truth has begun. Their house of cards is shaking, ready to fall. I'm standing tall, calling out them all. Caught red-handed, their lies laid bare. These public officials thought nobody would care. A conspiracy deep, but the truth's coming through. The system's cracking, now they'll pay their due. Lies and corruption, they thought they control. Sentence vacated, exposing their soul. They built it on deceit, but the cover is blown. Now the guilty must answer for the seeds they've sown. Candy Beavers, Hobie James played the dirty part. Conspired with Galveston to tear me apart. Jeff Busby sent false statements to the district attorney, and when the heat came down, it was so concerning. A snake in the grass hiding behind his crew, but the truth reveals everything they do. Their lies run deep, but justice runs deeper. Each betrayal exposed, the climb's getting steeper. They thought they'd silence me, bury my voice, but now it's my time and I've made my choice to shine a light, make sure these criminals pay. Justice is coming and it's here to stay. I lost it all, but I've still got the fight. Damn right, the truth's a weapon cutting through the night. The sentence declared unlawful, the order vacated. I'm vindicated, liberated, and of course I'm elated. Caught red-handed, their lies laid bare. These public officials thought nobody would care. A conspiracy deep, but the truth's coming through. The system's cracking, now they'll pay their due. Lies and corruption, they thought they control. Sentence vacated, exposing their soul. They built it on deceit, but their cover is blown. Now the guilty must answer for the seeds they've sown. Yeah, already did it. Damn right, the truth's a weapon, cutting through the night. The sentence declared unlawful. the order fade.